Why would he make that speech? He did not, I mean, it's not personal.
Well, he felt it, he felt the need for these, mentally challenged children. I have a photograph of him hugging a girl coming in from, she was probably 10 years old or something. She represented one of the organizations, and she stood there. They had brought her in to meet with the mayor. She had a banner on saying whatever it was. And as she approached him, she stood there, and she started crying. And the next thing you know, he's got her like this. It was really, he was a very, compassionate guy. He really was.
Now I would say maybe perhaps primary critics are people who, liberal, who think that he was not open-minded. And that's their argument, that he was closed-minded and not open to reform issues. Could you discuss that a little bit?
Well, I mean, as far as open-minded, if he what he thought was best for the city, whether you agreed with him or not, if he felt that this was good for the city, he would go straight ahead and probably, as I, said, the U of I, the filtration plan, he would go ahead, even though he was getting criticism. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as, the liberal, I mean, he fought for education. He fought for the poor people. I mean, I don't know. The liberal group, if you didn't see it their way, well, then you were against them. But what he did with Bill Singer, some of his ideas the mayor endorsed. If he thought they were good ideas, he would. I mean, there was examples where, he was sometimes scoffed at about all his blue ribbon committees that he would form. But they did a legitimate service. I don't know what else to say,
Well, now, we're getting almost to the very end, and so a question that is often part of this is, what do you think are the reasons that the Richard Daley family, father and son, and in many ways John and Bill, have been able to have this tremendous power, and I'm not, just power and ability to move things in this city? Why? What about that family makes them that different?
Well, I think the family, they have a reputation from the father. They have a reputation of fighting for what they think is right, whether you agree with them or not. I don't know what else the reputation is that, like John, he delivers the ward organization. Billy, obviously, with being Secretary of Commerce, he knew how to work to get NAFTA passed.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I really don't know, other than the reputation of being fighters for the city, the love of their city. You listen to some of the things Rich Daley, he gets all excited and worked up because he's fighting for the city, what he thinks is right.
How much of an influence was Sis Daley on Richard J. Daley?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I would assume Sis Daley probably had influence. Good Irish wife. Probably had some strong opinions. That, I'll never know. I mean, but I would assume that their dinner table things might have been said. Although their dinner table was probably, it was void of, I hear, of politics. They really, they discussed the things of the day, but they didn't discuss any particular, she tried to keep it family oriented. What did Billy do today? What did, I would assume Mrs. Daley had some influence.
One of the things about Richard J. Daley is that it's difficult to know who were people of influence that he didn't work with. Lynch, Bill Lynch, Lee, who those folks were. It seems that he was more of an individualist than a person who relied on a broad network of people outside of the day-to-day. I mean, you were part of his kitchen cabinet and also part of the kitchen cabinet of Richard M., but that was strictly a work environment.
Yeah. You want to say that again about, you're saying influence?
Yeah, people who would spend time with him and have and be able to move him, or that he looked to.
Well, I mean, I don't know about outside of City Hall. I mean, inside of City Hall, as I say, it was all the leaders, D.C., Springfield, committeemen, aldermen. There's times of the day that, you would see aldermen listening to them. Mayor, I need this. My streets are bad, or they're, people of influence would be, other than the business community, would be, a Lou Hill or Milt Pekarsky, one thing. Well, you asked for possible thing that didn't go for earlier. I'm backtracking. Was the Crosstown Expressway.
Yes.
That was a shame. It's still a need today, and he saw the vision of it, and Mayor Byrne didn't see the need, but she got her 20 buses, and Jim Thompson got the rest of the federal money.
Yes. Yes.
To build roads and bridges downstate.
Why didn't that make it? Do you know?
There was opposition. That's the heart of the 13th Ward, 23rd Ward. Even though there's not that many homes involved, but it was enough to stir up people. And had he had more time, it would have been done. His untimely death. And then Mayor Blandick picked it up. I know, I worked on it. We had a deal worked out with Jim Thompson, Governor Thompson, and Jim Fletcher. I don't know if you know Jim. Jim Fletcher and I and Sharon Gist worked on that. And we had a deal. We were going to go, and we had announced it. We have plans, books, everything on it. And well, then he lost the election, and
That was it.
And Jane campaigned on not doing it. I think there was only like 20, 30 houses. Not, if on one of those 20 or 30, that would be, it would not be good. But it just, And then what really got me about it all is, we're talking was at the time was 1.5 or billion dollars back then. It was big money because it was going to be a depressed highway, just as the Dan Ryan. So this federal money was there, and Jane sent her negotiator down to Springfield. And the story goes that they gave the guy, I can't think of his name anymore, they gave the guy beer and pizza, and they negotiated all night, and she wound up with 20, 30
Right, nothing.
CTA buses, and she was very happy about it. And Governor Thompson got over $1 billion to spend downstate. The city really got the short end of that. But anyway, don't get me started on Jane.
Well, I think that unless there's something that you'd like to add that we haven't covered, we're at the point where we can wrap this up.
No, I just think that Richard J. Daley will go down, and it has gone down as one, the greatest mayor, I think, of the city of Chicago. Not taking anything away from his son, but I think he set the foundation for it all, and set a very high standard. And his son has followed, but it was Richard J. that started it all. He really did.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.